forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer. With boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps. Bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name, we pray. Amen. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New era, TT Radio, NETT Radio.
She waits and gets on and mind that she body can wind up no more. Cause life is short and tomorrow not sure, so I live like it's my last. Oh, drinks in me and now, jump up and wave is the plan now. Just love and girl with the man now. Whoa, cause it things so sweet, yeah. Sometimes I feel like I don't wanna go home, no. Cause it things so sweet, yeah. Sometimes I feel like I don't wanna leave, oh no. Right now I feel like a jam down, I feel like a wind down. I want to hold on a bumper right now, my
NETT Radio Breakfast Show, bringing you the energy, music, and vibes to start your day right.
Life is so good to me. Life is so good.
Hey, everybody, good morning to you. Yeah, recognizing the fact that life is so good to you. You wake up this morning, you have the breath of life. Guess what? You are a winner.
From your wake up.
So good morning to everybody, wherever you may be. Trinidad, Tobago, neighbors in the Caribbean, friends who are streaming all around the globe. Good day to you. And of course, it's good to have you here on New Era TT Radio, the heartbeat of the Caribbean, taking you above and beyond.
Bring woman so nice. One more good I have.
As we head into the weekend, it's a Thursday, it's a throwback Thursday.
She body coming up no more. 'Cause life is short and tomorrow not short.
And I gotta say much thanks to the Heavenly Father for bringing us together for another day. All
Jump
right?
up and wave as
People, I'm yours truly, Sir Charles, in your company, and of course, happy am I to be in your company. I'm even happier that I have my entire team here with us.
Sometimes I feel
I
like
want to welcome everybody. This is NETT Radio. Everybody, welcome to the Breakfast Show.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Oh, good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
An absolutely beautiful, well, it is a bit rainy, but an absolutely beautiful morning nonetheless. Thursday morning in Trinidad and Tobago, I'm sure it is just as challenging, sorry, in your part of the globe. My apologies again for my voice this morning, folks.
You're getting there. Come on, you're coming
Yeah,
up.
I'm really battling a cold. I don't know if it's a cold. I don't get the cold, but but I'm still battling it. But it's good to be in the land of the living. How's it for you guys? It's a little drizzly on my side of my neck of the woods.
Yeah, it's like that on my side also.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Good morning to our listeners and viewers wherever you are. And of course, in Trinidad and Tobago, the Caribbean, or across the planet. And of course, but it may not be good morning where you are, but it is here. So good morning. And of course, good morning to my co-host, Wendell and Sir Charles. On this Thursday, the weekend begins tonight, people, at a second after midnight.
Mm-hmm.
And you know we have lots happening this weekend. Of course, theater is on this weekend. The premiere of a brand new show, You Don't Leave Foul to Watch Corn and Queen's Hall, one show only, this Sunday at 6:30 p.m. at Queen's Hall. Of course, tickets are available at Queen's Hall. You should get your tickets early because tickets are already selling from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. And of course, tickets available at all the usual outlets. K-Squared Fashions in West Mall, Eastgates in Brentwood Mall in Chagonas, and Tony's Florals in Valpark Shopping Plaza, Jubilee Railway in Tunapuna, Charlotte Auto Services, and of course, Electronics in Arima.
Yeah, I don't plan.
Nah, I'm telling my show, but you know what time I get home last night?
But man, you showed them sold out. I enjoyed it.
Rehearsals go so well. I mean, it's not unusual that rehearsals go late, but I'm particularly exhausted because this is one of those kind of plays that you have to be high energy throughout because there's so much
energy in all your plays.
Right?
No, but this particular one you have to be high energy throughout because it's so much bacchanal taking place. And so as the character, you're in the middle of all of the bacchanal, and you have to be going full pace to try and prevent the bacchanal from escalating even further, of course, which it does anyway. But
with Andrew, anything will escalate.
Yeah, so it's wonderful. It's one of those. But you know, you have so much fun when you're working. You know what is wonderful about theater and doing something you love? No matter how late you go, and as you're going late, nobody's grumbling. Nobody's sour. Oh God, they have me here so late. No. people are just,
Well, like a
excited.
family, yeah, with that. With
Yeah,
the
you
kids.
do. You become. Yeah, it's very family-like.
Yeah.
So and so, and I suppose it's about doing stuff that you love. That it's not work.
Yes.
It's about the passion of everybody trying to get it done, and then of course you have even more young people behind the scenes now, seeing how theater works from behind the scenes, and some of them are graduates from the UTT program in theater, and so they're seeing firsthand how it's done out of an academic environment. And so I suppose it's a big kind of eye opener for them. Seeing how it goes, the frenzy of it, how on top of it you have to be, how professional you have to be in terms of what you're doing and stuff like that. So, it's interesting. It's always interesting. And it's always interesting to have new young people around learning the craft,
Yeah.
So lots of fun. This weekend, don't miss it.
Yeah, we're not going to miss it because this weekend, actually, Saturday is a Rima Borough Day. So I think they're supposed to have panels out in the borough.
I don't know what they have.
Are
they having something?
I think so. We know what
having stuff from tomorrow.
So Charles, get the Arima mayor tomorrow, even if it's by phone. Let him promote what's happening in Arima. If we don't get him, we'll get the deputy mayor. I'll message Jovan and see. But ideally, we should get the mayor of Arima to speak about things, what's happening in Arima.
I'll try and
yeah, even if it's briefly tomorrow, we could do because we live in Arima, so why are we always promoting everywhere else? Let's promote Arima. Let's do something for Arima tomorrow. That's all, guys.
Of course.
Of course, Wendell.
Oh Lord. Let me say my official good morning to Charles. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers. A special happy birthday to some folks. Miss Inez Bath. She is 96 years old today. A St. James resident. She's a stalwart in the community. She is celebrating 96 years today. She is the grandmother of my niece. So I see Miss Bath all the time. She has not lost any of her faculties. You understand? Morning, Miss Bath, and happy birthday from us here at the Power Breakfast Show, and of course from your children and your grandchildren and all your relatives, all the people of St. James who know you. All right?
She has drink coffee?
Huh?
She has drink coffee,
I wonder if Miss Bath drinks coffee.
Let's find out.
Somebody go message me. Somebody go message me and tell me. I see Miles Walcott already in the chat wishing her happy birthday. Miles, does Miss Bath drink coffee? Marlene Rahman, my doodoo darling, she's celebrating her birthday today also. Samantha Felix from, is it Point 14 or Faizabat? Somewhere there. Danielle Roberts Batiste, Donna Maillard, not Donna Maillard, Donna Maillard. Charlene Ford from the Port of Spain Corporation. Beverly Udy, Susanna Haddad, and Esmond Lord, and last but by no means least, Emily Clark. That's the wife of Bishop Ashton Clark, who messages every day. She is celebrating her birthday today. So happy birthday to all of those celebrating birthdays today. And condolences to the East Dry River community on the passing of Hanif Harewood yesterday. A suspected heart attack. Hanif was an activist in the area. He was like Clint right-hand man. Clint right, left, everything. He was there for Clint at all times. Clint Batiste, that is the councillor for the area. So yesterday when I sent the message about what happened in Ghana, because Clint was on that Ghana trip, Clint messaged me back that Hanif just died. I say, what? But he wasn't, I don't know that he was ailing, but it's a suspected heart attack. So condolences to the family of Hanif Harewood, who I think lost his brother not too long ago either. So it was a very sad news. I know Clint must be in grief this morning because, as I say, when you see Clint, you see Hanif. And the other young man whose name I just can't remember, but he sent me a message also too last night. I have him down as Blue Rain Contractors on my phone, but his name is just escaping me, but somebody will message me about it. So condolences to the Harewood family and the East Dry River family who knew Hanif Harewood, right? So And anyone else who, of course, would have lost loved ones, our deepest condolences. All right.
Yeah. I feel like there's somebody's birthday that I'm supposed to mention, and I just can't remember it right now.
You did say that yesterday, you know. You said somebody's birthday is today and not yesterday, you know. You said that yesterday.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
I know Raymond's birthday is around this time. Because he's around the same time.
Said, you know. It might have been Raymond's birthday, you said.
Yeah, he's around the same time. And Cecilia. And I think
Cecilia was yesterday.
Yeah, Cecilia was yesterday. So I think she and Raymond are close, if not on the same day. So maybe it was yesterday. Yeah. So so that is for everybody. So I suppose we can get straight into our good news segment for today. Do we have it? Yes, we do.
Hello, Trinidad and Tobago. I am Captain Gideon Tecla-Georges, Senior Defense Official at the U.S. Embassy in Port of Spain. The U.S. Navy hospital ship USNS Comfort has arrived in Port of Spain as part of the Continuing Promise 2025 mission. On August 7, 8, and 9, members of the public will be able to access medical services at the National Academy for the Performing Arts in Port of Spain from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. absolutely free of charge. If you are planning to visit, here are a few things you should know. Services are first come, first served, and no pre-registration is required. National ID isn't mandatory, but it can help if you need medications. Doctors will address one medical issue per patient per visit. For example, if you have an eye and dental issue, determine which one you will be seeking treatment for. You will be allowed to join to the back of the line or return on another day to take care of the second issue. Expect long lines, so plan ahead, be patient, and cooperate with staff at the venue. Wear comfortable clothing and shoes. Bring water to stay hydrated, as well as snack and umbrella in case it rains. We are proud to support this mission and look forward to seeing you at Napa. For updates, follow us on social media or visit our website at tt.usembassy.gov. Thank you.
How ironic, eh? Someone with an accent like that speaking on behalf of the United States.
Well, the United States is a potpourri of all manner of people, so
Yeah.
people from all corners.
That's true. That's true. But you know how they get on sometimes when they're under the Trump regime. But this is happening at Napa, isn't it?
Yeah, it's at Napa.
Oh, beautiful.
I think today, tomorrow, and Saturday.
That will have long lines, eh?
Yeah, and that is something because we have a lot of people who really seek public assistance or assistance like that. If you take a trip any morning and you go down to any one of our institutions, whether in Port of Spain, San Fernando, St. James, and go and check out the clinics, and you would see hardly likely you go to any clinic and find one or two persons alone.
Right. Yeah. And it's instructive that he would say, even if you have more than one issue, you deal with what you choose that one that day.
Choose one.
But you can also come back either later in the day or another day.
Yeah. After slow down, you can come back.
Yeah.
Add up with it.
Yeah. That will be oversubscribed. I'm almost certain about it.
Yeah, I am sure of that.
Yeah.
I'm now thinking about it. I wonder if there's anything I need to go check out, but
I know. I'm wondering myself.
Yeah.
Well, you have a big cold you sporting, so you had to wear a big mask when you went there. And then
I have a big what?
Cold that you're sporting right now.
Right now, you have to stay away from people.
Yeah. I have to
advise that, right?
Yeah.
When you have the cold and thing, you have to be responsible.
Yeah.
Oh, daddy talking to you there, boy.
Hey, yes, you listen.
Child people.
I'm just sharing information with you guys. I look how nice I said it. I didn't normally say it like how Richard normally buffs everything into
True, yeah, Richard is buff. At least
everything
I
is
didn't
buff
get
into
buff
plate.
on
Yes.
But people go down. Morning, Pamela Phillip from the health sector, who always shares these good news, these things with us. I'm sure, was she the one who sent it to you, Sir Charles?
No, actually, that Rockaway said that.
Okay, all right.
Thanks very much, Rockaway.
Thanks, Rockaway.
You know, some people out of Trinidad just have more information before people who live in Trinidad.
But I got a video. I think I got that same video from Pamela also. But I did get something sharing some good news in terms of the health sector. She will always send me things on the health sector. You know. Good morning, Captain Ron.
I didn't know that US visit until you sent me that video.
Yeah, I'm almost certain she sent it to me. She sent anything on the health sector. Probably messaging. I seen Paul Richards messaging me. What he messaging me for? He had a nice birthday yesterday. Yeah. I ain't seen him post up no pictures of him at dinner and all kind of thing.
He sent me something yesterday, considering anyway, let me read up on it first before I start talking about it. But anyway, we should start meeting people in our stream, Wendell.
Yes, we can do that now. Lots of messages already. Good morning, you wonderful people who getting us up every morning to do this thing. Subash from Woodland says, good day, everyone. He messaged at 11:06 last night. Joyce Phillip at 12:27. So she's the first one today. Ram Nourish says, blessed rainy morning, everyone. We're thankful for God's blessing. Suzanne Jessup also messaged 2:28. to say good morning and blessings on today. Boy Bidesi from Debe, Brennan Smith from Goodwood in Tobago, DL from I'm not sure where. Lennox Francois from Baltimore says good morning. Wendy Ann and Frank James from Aranguez. Felix Cazo also says good morning. Marcia Rock from Orlando, Florida. Ava Smith also sends good morning. Sherwin and Juliet Kerr from Arima. I'll see you in Arima Saturday, God willing, Sherwin. Valerie Mendoza from Dabadi. Subash also says it's a rainy spout. Morning, Miss Mendoza. Odell Guy from Sangre Grande. Well, down up there always have rain. We call Sangre Grande the bathroom, so I'm sure it's raining. You don't even have to say it's raining over there. I know it's raining. Diane Payne says good morning. You guys are doing a good job. Thank you very much, Diane. And Noel from Oshawa in Ontario says good morning. Margaret Thomas, Hill Bend, Melchizedek, Cheryl Johnson also from Malabar, Marlon Motley from North Valsayn, and Robert.
Good morning, Marlon.
From Fernandina. You know, I just delay after certain names.
Good morning, Robert.
Robert Taylor from Fernandina Beach. Helen Prescott says good morning. Rena Buru Jennings says yes, it's raining in Pity Valley. Gavin Frank from Powder Magazine. Anne-Marie Watson from Maloney. Katia and Charles from Cascade. Richard M. Jeremiah from Men in Mind. I always remember that program.
Yes, yes. RJ.
Yeah. With Norma. What? Norma Clark. Ooh, I used to tease Norma, boy. I tease Norma, you are a real cougar, you know. I used to tell her.
Yeah. Actually, you could join Richard Jeremiah here on the stream in the night times also, you know.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
beautiful.
From 8 o'clock.
Nice one.
And
I know that the guy used to sing. KV Charles. Is KV Charles?
What is that?
Was it KV Charles used to be on that show too? I think.
I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, Lambert Bruce from El Dorado. Morgan says, top of the morning, be safe on the black carpet. Selvin Regis, aka Gabby Jr., says good morning. Bernadette and Nelicia Yates. I'll always add in Nelicia, Bernadette, I hope you don't mind. Ambrose Blah from New York. Wayne Ramsey from Fort Lauderdale. Miguel Gonzalez. Miles Walcott saying happy birthday to Mrs. Barth. Grace Smith said, I listen to you all the time. Miguel Gonzalez, Arima Borode, aka oh gosh. I hope not, you know, Miguel. But you're right. Sometimes it always has some disturbance. Let's hope it doesn't have anything this year. Magic says, Grand Rising, gentlemen, and the breakfast crew. Josie Richardson, top of the morning from Galliota Point this morning. All right. CJ from New York.
Good morning, CJ.
I see. I know you, Richard. I know you. Truth set you free. Blessed morning and to you good people. Anthony Atwell says, greetings to the best team on morning radio. We appreciate your sentiments, Anthony Atwell. Patricia Defoe, Magic says, not just good news, great news. Magic, you need to go and see about that problem you have. You know what it is, right? Alistair Hart says, good morning, guys.
You could go on the ship.
He might have to go on the ship, though. I think Napa could deal with that alone. Garfield Hazel. Mrs. R says, morning, all.
Good morning, Mrs. R.
Slick Buddy Grip also says, good morning. Dr. Charles is so correct. Well, he means it. Charles is so correct. Wear your mask. All right. Crystal said, morning, gentlemen. Your friend, President Trump, is looking at federalizing DC. That will remove the power of the mayor and city council. Okay. Wow. Didn't hear that.
Which friend is that? President Trump is your friend? When that?
Who?
I say President Trump is your friend.
Is my friend?
But he's your friend, President Trump.
Oh, man, no. He must mean Ron DeSantis. He must be trying out for Ron DeSantis. Truth set you free. Hold on. Look how I startup run this morning. Eh? What would happen to delivery drivers with this stand your ground law? Sometimes person order phones on silent. You knock on the door and it's mistake for a bandit. All those things are very possible. Should set you free. Michael Granderson, Sankofa say, I have a house invasion at gunpoint. They took the tenant's jewelry's passport, TV, my brand new lawnmower, and long pole hedger. All gates and locks were busted out. Still blessings out. When did that happen, Sankofa? I hope it's not recent you're talking about.
It sounded like it's recent. It sounded like it's recent.
Yeah.
I know where
Police have, well, I mean, we don't know. He could be able to just indicate when it's recent. But it sounds so, and that's horrible.
Sorry to hear that, Sankofa.
Yeah.
But up in that area where you are, they're kind of really remote and quiet sometimes. Eh? Susie B says good morning. Carol Guevara also says good morning. Sankofa wants to know when Paul Richards joining the team. Okay. Andre Reno, good morning. Rain is falling. Blessings day, guys. Shema Paul.
I sent them a message saying you want to ban Sankofa for that statement. Don't do that kind of background.
If I had the authority still, I'd have banned him. No, but Paul and us are still friends. He's just still at Power 102.
Yeah.
And we are on NETT Radio. All right?
We don't mind Paul because Paul, you're accustomed to Paul's energy, you know. Yeah. We are, when you work with people after a while, you get accustomed to, you know.
Yeah. Be it Paul, Rhoda, David, Mohammed, any one of them. I would work with any one of them. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter to me. As long as Richard there. If Richard not there, then I ain't working with them. I'm telling you from now.
Richard's like a comfy pillow.
You can work with Paul. You can work with Paul for sure. But I hear on.
Richard has bring me back center. When I start a shift, Richard has bring me back to back center. Shiva Paul also says good morning. Odell guy says yes, it is raining. Kurt Hope from Miami. Morning, Kurt. Carl M. Jack, who puts up some kind of really crazy posts on Facebook sometimes. But I always enjoy them, Carl. Anthony Miguel from New York. Charles Adderley, that's a new name. Great morning from one paradise to another. Watching from Nassau, Bahamas. Outstanding coverage and show. Thank you very much, Mr. Adderley. You are now our number one fan for today. Alistair Hart says,
you know that get you in trouble as you
know very well, Sir Josh. You don't care.
For today. Alistair Hart. Wendell, did you see the passionate plea from a UNC supporter about former? Yes, I saw it. I sent that video to Richard, actually, to the group chat to play that in DB on with Dr. Munilal. After you, Wendell, says Magic. I don't have a problem, boy. Good morning, guys, from Evans David. Island Girl, good morning. This SOE serves no purpose when you call the police station to report strange cars parking in front of your house. Doing surveillance, nothing is done, no patrols. I'd like to find out that area, Island Girl, if you could tell us what area, so we could reach out to the TTPS. Sankofa say between 11 and noon. So it was recently?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you said yesterday.
It has to be yesterday.
It had to be yesterday? Well, that's terrible, Sankofa.
Yeah.
Juliet Kerr says, good morning, Wendell. I'm inviting you and the crew to the Central Bank Auditorium Steel Pan Film Festival from the 18th to the 22nd of August. We'll take it under advisement. Send us a reminder. Michael Grandis Sankofa also says, yes, he says it was, I guess it was yesterday. Julia Batiste, good morning, guys. Island Girl, Aruka Police Station, Bonia West. Aruka Police Station is the one on the bus route, not so?
Yeah.
The one that borders the bus route?
By the crossing.
Yeah. So those are the greetings on the live chat. Thank you all for joining us this morning.
All right. So very quickly, let me run through the WhatsApp. Let me say good morning to Kent, Terry and Peters, Colin and Karanaj, Archbishop Ashton Clark, Captain Ron, Norris Ferguson, Zena, good morning, Slick Money Grip, Horatio, good morning to you. Hope you're coming along all right. And Sandra, good morning to you. Miss Sampson, and of course, Ron DeSantis, good morning. Yeah.
Morning. And
so let's pay some bills and come back.
All right, okay. Yeah. Sure, let's do that.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Charmflair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop, located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davanti tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charmflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair. We do it all.
San Fernando, get ready. The Roadie One-Man Show is coming to the Southland. Sunday the 17th of August at Sapa. Tickets available at all K-Squared locations. Actually's by the Park, Southern Food Basket, Coffee Street and San Fernando. Sapa box office from the 14th of August and Island e-tickets online. For more information and box office inquiries, call 682-0467 or 683-4843. This show is strictly 18 years and over. The Roadie One-Man Show is heading to the Southland.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
No, that's a lesson we should all know. Leave out to watch con. No, that's a lesson we should all know. Richard planning wedding bells to ring, but Andrew got a secret thing. Best man supposed to stand by your side, not steal away your future bride. So Marie Kala, all them know, trust does break and hearts does go. At Queen's Hall Sunday night, August 10, 6:30, right? Benita Leslie Ann will show how betrayal steal the show. Deborah Messing directing true. This Trinity for me
you. You don't leave out to watch corn. No, no, that's a lesson we should all know. Leave out to watch corn. No, no, that's a lesson we should all know. Oh yeah, that's a lesson we should all know.
Richard, I would have sent a video in the chat just now that we could play and poll today. It's the video, it's the clip that Paul sent to me. It's a good poll for today because I actually talked about it last night, but I didn't have the video. But it was attributed to the Minister of Homeland Security, talking about something that has been raised on radio many occasions, and the banking institution at one point in time put out a statement on it, and that is that people who are employed sometimes at these financial institutions may actually be feeding information to the criminal element. Because yesterday, I think there were 2 robberies with people with substantial amounts of cash who came out of financial institutions. You understand? So the Minister of Homeland Security had a say on it. And I don't know, maybe we could poll it and get the views of our listeners as to the veracity of it. You know, because as I said, it was raised on radio on previous occasions, but it just died a natural death because the banking institution, I remember, made a statement about it concerning their workers and their access to cell phones and all different sort of things. But it's happening way too often now, you know. But I also pointed out back then, I remember, that people were actually, because of how most banks are operating now, where you come in and take a number and sit down, you never know who's sitting in a bank now scoping you out. You really don't know, you know, because they could just take a number and just be there in a bank scoping you out. They don't have to be doing any transaction in a bank. You understand? So that is a concern. That is a concern. So I don't know if you could get to play the video. I could only have shared it WhatsApp. So
well, I could play. No, I mean I could play it if you want.
Yeah, play it.
Am I playing it now?
Play it now, so that when we do the poll, people will be aware of what we are polling this morning. All right? It'll be based on what is being said in this video. All right?
All right, I'll play it now. It's just loading. It's loading into StreamYard. So
yeah, don't worry, people. We get to your calls. Don't worry.
Well, while it's loading,
we still have headlines to do though.
Yeah, do the headlines in the meantime now.
Yeah, we could do headlines. We could do headlines.
The Express and
yeah, I could do the Express for you. I could do that right now. All right. And the headlines in today's Express: Warner withdraws. That's one of the headlines. Warner withdraws former FIFA vice president. Timal remembered for grace, integrity, quiet strength. That's for Senator who passed away recently, Diop Timal. Alzari rested, Shepherd's back. That's West Indies cricket. Older West Indies can turn things around in ODI. Yeah. Thanks for that. Morning Anderson Mahis, son of Gilan, offered me tickets to go and see that Pakistan game next week, Tuesday. So Harper, be prepared. US denies attempting to determine Guyana election outcome. FUL holder fends off attackers in Woodbrook. Omar shot dead close to home in San Juan. Those are all trending stories in the online version of today's Express. All right.
In the news day, ex-government official on extradition, U.S. promised to treat Warner fairly. Belmont man scares off robbers with licensed gun. A Maravan man ambushed, robbed after leaving bank. High Court throws out case against cop charged with misbehavior. Al-Rawi query over Warner case threatens other extraditions. Duke, soul of Tobago at stake in THA elections. And Police Academy to launch bachelors in policing. All of this is in the Trinidad Newsday this morning. Over to you on The Guardian, Sir Charles.
Thank you very much. It's in The Guardian. Plot suspects held, man detained on gun charge. Then there's the police killed 3 in Valencia and Tacarigua, I suppose. Former SSA head pleads not guilty to ammo charge. No solid evidence, prison officers colluding with inmates yet. Harass. Former AG warns of fallout from Warner extradition matter, that is Faris Alwari. And 6 state lawyers in Jack's extradition case rake in $6 million in fees. That's it.
Okay, so I suppose we can play the video at this point before we take calls from Wendell and well, not calls from Wendell, but from other people.
The general.
I play the clip.
And every Monday morning you leave with a bag of money to go to the bank. Every Monday morning at 9. So you're telling everybody, I'm going to the bank, I'm going to the bank. All the people in the workplace, I'm going to the bank at 9, I'll be back. And they're giving away all that information. What do you think is going to happen? Let us wise up.
Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander is urging the public to be more mindful of their everyday movements so as not to become easy targets. But the minister notes that this is only one side of the coin, as he says the criminal entities are more organized than many think.
Home invasion is not what you think it is. It's an organized crime. So somebody in this room, part of the village, give information to persons on the outside. They're simple, they have information. They know all who has guns and all who have none. It's organized crime. It's not what you think it is, just passing and jumping out of a car and running a man's house. No. They monitor and they are prepared.
And while there have been many questions about the possible involvement of workers at certain institutions, the former police officer, now Homeland Security Minister, appears to be giving the confirmation.
Some of us, our families, on many occasions, the ladies that is working in institutions, financial institutions, and they can tell, give information to anybody that Senator Anna Roberts have $100 in his account. And when they give this information, persons are ready because they're sure. So they come.
He chose Anna Roberts' name though to say to use as an example. I would not have done that. But he right. I mean, he right.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion. But we're gonna get your opinion when we do the poll. You understand? Because more than 30 years ago, I was a victim. I always have stories, and it's true stories, experiences. Let me not say stories. Experiences.
Yeah, you're second only to Mr. Patrick.
No, but I actually had an experience where
that's why I say you're second to Mr. Patrick. Mr. Patrick was an experience.
To deposit money one morning, right? And it's no longer a bank. It was Bank of Commerce at the point in time. And I mean, I was well known in the bank, so I used to get to drive into the driveway of where the manager used to park. And I drove in the morning, and I looked in my rearview mirror, and a car was behind me. But the car blocked me this way, crossways, right? It didn't come in directly behind me. It blocked crossways. And a guy ran out. I seen him dipping in his waist. Now, I never had that kind of experience before. This was my very first robbery experience. And the guy came up to my window was up, and he pointed the gun at my head through the window. And before I could even react, he shot. A bullet came through the window, into the car, and shot the person next to me in the car, in his foot. You understand? That was my first experience of robbery, going to a bank. So, and it was said then that it was either somebody who was working with us or somebody at the bank who may have set it up. You understand? I don't know up to the day. All I know is that eventually, some months down the road, I was called to the forensic department in St. James, and I saw a body on a slab, and that was the guy. He had a bullet straight through his head. The police called me and said, come to the forensic and identify this body if there's a man who robbed me. And it was a former soldier. he was a former soldier.
Yeah.
You understand? That happened to me. So I could see it, and that was 30 years ago. So I could see it happening still.
And you were going to the bank.
I was going to the bank to deposit money.
So yeah, so somebody know the time that years ago, and patterns is something else too. You know, we do things same day, same time. So we go 8:30 on a Friday or a Wednesday, and people are watching.
Yeah.
People are watching.
Life has never been the same again since. Trust me. And for people who have been experiencing it, it's a very traumatic experience. Very, very traumatic experience. Being robbed at gunpoint, it's very traumatic.
Online banking. People, the lines are open to you. We'll take your calls.
Yes, we'll take your calls now, 281-1315, and then we'll do a poll. Of course, our guest in the second hour would be two young men from the Scouts Association, something that all of us should have followed when we were younger. We would have reached like Rodney Smart. Rodney Smart was the first scout that I knew, and went on to become Chief of Defense Staff. You know? So 281-1315, we're taking your calls.
All right. Good morning to you, caller. Hello, good morning.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Morning, Lincoln.
I want to finish my story was yesterday, because I really having a problem with Digicel. So my phone is on airplane mode now. My data is off. I have to do that because I cannot stop my plan. I have a postpaid phone. My phone bill is $500 a month. I'll be abroad for a couple of months. I'll tell myself, okay, let me stop my phone, suspend my service till I get back. Right? Digicel first asked me for my itinerary of when I leaving. So I had already left, so I sent that for them. They then asked for an authorization letter for who bringing the itinerary. Then they asked for authorization letter. Then they asked for ID, a copy of my ID. Nothing wrong with that. These things are traditional. The last thing they're asking for now is a return date. They must have a return date. I don't know when I return. I don't know, but they must have a return itinerary for them to suspend my service, my Digicel services, or else I will have to pay for 2 months, a phone plan for 2 months that I am not in the country for.
That sounds reasonable.
Service.
That sounds reasonable, that they will want to know when you come back, because suppose now when you come back, you never say that you're back, and they continue to not bill you. But you're back here.
Yes, when I come back, I will go to Digicel and reactivate my phone, Gwendol. That is not practical. When I return, I would go into Digicel and have my phone reactivated.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be such a hard thing for you all to work out. If you say for them,
to do.
I'm not sure when I'll be back, but when I'm back, I'll let you all know. You know?
Exactly.
That shouldn't really be such a hard thing to sort out. But I hope you get it sorted out, Lincoln. All right.
But
all right, so we're taking your calls, 281-1315, 281-1315.
Yeah. Mr. Patrick, good morning to you.
Yeah, morning, Wendell, Mr. Daguasing, and Mr.
Charles.
Charles.
Hey, yeah, Mr. Daguasing, we both have more incident than me, man. Not me. Wendell have more incident than me. He could write a book before me. Right? But there's two things I call to talk about. One, I was watching TV last night where they had some program up in some constituency, UNC constituency now. And a guy was begging the government to bring back the CPF workers because the place in a mess right now. And a lady in the Martin, I think she was talking about mosquito and cockroach and all kind of thing because the place is a mess. with grass and things, boy. And I wonder how since when cutting grass is a very demeanor thing, cutting grass is a good thing. You beautify in your country. Because when I go away, I just see the place cut real nice, boy. You understand? So I don't know is he crying on with people cutting grass.
No, I don't think that is it. I don't think that is the argument with the suspension. It's because people are cutting grass. It's because of the corruption in the process.
What? So
no, I agree with you. You know.
So wrong with that, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Weed all the bad guys.
Yeah, and I agree with you.
If you want to weed all the bad guys, and let the people work.
Yeah, you know, let's
get it going. Paul pay for all, right?
Yeah.
But that's right. I know the $15,000 I was listening to Donald Trump and the bond. I had 15,000 US or 15,000 TT. If you had to pay that money.
Well,
the US will not be talking in TT.
Yeah?
The US ain't gonna be talking in TT.
No, it's US.
Yeah.
So if I go America and they suspect me to be a person overstaying, because I was reading something with the consulate.
15 by 7, Mr. Patrick.
Mr. Patrick, it applies to certain countries.
Yeah.
Malawi and Zambia. They say we're not on the list. They say Jamaica has overstayed the Caribbean.
No. They said Malawi and Zambia. And thus far, it's Malawi and Zambia.
No, I'm not reading the article here. They said Jamaica has overstayed the Caribbean.
Yeah, but Jamaica is still not on the list. The only two countries on the list are Malawi and Zambia.
No, two countries right now will make sure they pay from now.
Right. You cannot speculate beyond that.
Well, I want to know.
Everything else is conjecture. Everything else is conjecture.
Yeah.
Trinidad is actually one of Mr. Patrick. Trinidad is actually very low on the list of people that oversee. We are very low.
Yeah. I know that, but I wonder if it's 15.
You just want to prepare. All right,
Mr. What is the point of conjecture and speculation?
He wants to know, Richard, if to start saving up his 15,000 US.
Yes.
Go ahead and do that, Mr. Patrick.
Yeah. Hello, good morning, Miss Sampson.
Good morning, gentlemen. Mr. Patrick can start to save the money, you will just stay in the bank until when? When then I send the video concerning the taser, but it's not opening. And I would like to know if they could pass a bill right now, like how Barbados have a bill that if in front your property is dirty, you can get a ticket. They need to do that right here in Trinidad right now because CPEP normally pass, people is just fainting and wait for the government workers to clean the space. So if they pass a law that everybody's supposed to clean in front the space, CPEP will have to work more with the government buildings instead of private. Miss Mortley did that, and that was a good idea. So you all have a good day. I'm out the door. Bye, Chelsea.
Okay, have a good session.
Folks, I'm sure you all would have noticed I ignored Sir Charles and he talked about the corruption thing with CPEP. That is a whole lot of hogwash.
So have no corruption.
I didn't say it had no corruption, but that couldn't be the reason they shut it down.
No, and I don't.
Deal with them. If it have people who are corrupt, deal with them, and that can be hard to find out.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, I mean, because they need it. We need it. You know, what I mean? We need to get it organized. Good morning, caller.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Run this. Norfolk, Virginia, front and center. I just want to, on behalf of the folks here, on the morning show, just convey our, condolences. I don't know if that's the right word I'm using, but to Sankofa. Regardless of what your political view, your world view, your ideology, or whatever, whether you're PNM, whether you're UNC, whether you're Democrat, Republican, we first and foremost are human, okay? And we demonstrate this on this program. And, it comes like a family member, when something like this happens. And it really makes me very, very, angry. And I'm sure everybody else does. And just want to, give one love out to Sankofa, man, and God bless you. Okay.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thanks very much, Amron. Appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. All right, calls coming in.
We can take one more call before we do the poll.
Okay, Mr. Billy, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Calling from out of Scarborough here in Tobago and listening to the program loud and clear, so you all have a good reception. Very good. I just want to make reference quickly of the call. I think his name is Patrick, what he was saying about the CPAP. And I will say that the CPAP was a very good thing. At least the communities to look clean and thing with the cutting of the grass. So I have no problem with if things are organized in such a way that the kind of corruption we see being unfolded and being told to us what has transpired with that organization. And I just hope they come up with a really better plan rather than just a name change. Sometimes you hear people defending and saying they're supporting their party, but when you look and see what is being told now to the national population, it's not about their party, their personal party, it's about their personal benefit and thing. And we've seen a lot coming out, and I want to see the thing restructured in such a way. And they also are suffering now a place in a sustainable thing. And if you go after the contractor, they must not be affected at what we see playing out, So they are being used as a pawn right now, the 10,000 or 1,000. And I want to see this thing restructured in such a way that we could say the CPF who's doing a wonderful job in there on the job and cutting the grass. My community powder magazine, right now it is a very, very bad state because we don't have the services of them. So I am a champion of the CPF people to get back and doing what they do best. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks very much, Mr. Billy.
All right, we go straight into our poll. And our poll is based on the video that we would have shown you a bit earlier.
You sent a poll?
Sorry?
Did you send the poll?
Yes, I did, right under the video. Do you some employees, what's that? Fix yourself, fix yourself, fix yourself. You doing theater? Fix it, fix it, fix it.
I didn't see what poll you sent, so I was just scrambling to put something there.
I sent it right underneath. Right underneath. I said, do you believe workers at financial institutions are setting up people with criminals? You would have heard the Minister of Homeland Security. Do you think some employees from banks are giving out customers' information to criminals? We'll go with that. All right. Do you believe so? Yes or no? All right. That's our poll this morning. All right. All right. So we could take your vote now. Come there. All right, he's trying out something. All right, so that's our vote.
I'm trying to get, you know what it is? I'm trying to get that video that you sent with the guy in the town hall meeting.
Right.
But it's a huge video file.
Oh, it's 3 minutes something, I think.
Yeah, it's a huge sized file, so it's difficult to get it across. So that's what I was trying to work out.
We can do it tomorrow, God willing. This issue of our CPEP won't go away in a hurry. Trini Gets Fit, you ready for votes? Trini Gets Fit says yes. Ava Smith, yes. Anthony Miguel, hell yes. Margaret Thomas, yes. Michael Oliver, yes. Ian Stewart, yes. Alistair Hart, yes. Melchizedek, yes. Boy Bidesi, yes. Marlon Motley, yes. Dean Allen, okay, that is between Magic and Dean Allen. Diane Payne says yes. Rena Jennings, yes. Siobhan Shogun, yes. Okay, that's not for that poll. Carol Guevara, yes. Truth Set You Free, no. You cannot have your phone on in the teller line and you cannot leave after an hour. Well, you don't really, anyway, that's your vote. Lester Cragwell says yes. Anthony Atwell, yes. Julia Batiste, yes. Jason Samuel, yes. Well, Jason, you're saying you think you'll get 100% yes? Well, somebody already said no. Truth Set You Free said no. Siobhan Shogun, yes. So keep voting, folks. We have about 30 seconds left before we cut for the news. And when we come back, we will continue the voting process. And of course, our guest in the second hour, from the Scout Association of Trinidad, because you know what we do on this breakfast show, right? We give everybody a hearing. Everybody, in all walks of life. All right? So we'll stop there for the news, and when we come back, we will take from after Chevron Shogun. Anybody who votes after that, we'll take your vote. All right? Take care.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio. I'm Derek. Energy Minister Dr. Rudol Munalal says the government will give a full account of its first 100 days in office at the upcoming Monday night report on August 11th. Speaking at a consultation on Stand Your Ground legislation in DB, Munalal said the government has been hard at work since the April 28 election. Today is our 94th day in office, he told constituents, noting that a draft of the SYG legislation and policy has already been produced. He said the review will take place at the Kuva office of Public Utilities Minister Barry Patarath, with Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisesar and other ministers present. Munalal said the Prime Minister has asked all ministers to report their achievements, stressing that unlike the last administration, they are focused on governance, not celebration. Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander added that new anti-crime initiatives will roll out in the coming weeks, while Attorney Gerald Ramdeen urged public support for the reforms. Former FIFA Vice President Jack Warner says his life has been turned upside down over the past decade as he welcomed news that the Office of the Attorney General will investigate the handling of his long-standing U.S. extradition matter. In a telephone interview, Warner expressed both relief and deep hurt, blaming former Attorneys General Faris Al-Rawi and Reginald Armour for what he described as political persecution. He said their actions were aimed at facilitating his extradition, not on justice, but on the political will and fancies of others. Warner, who is still fighting extradition to the U.S. on corruption-related charges, said his ordeal underscores a bigger issue: justice for the average citizen. "If this can happen to me, what will happen to the poor man?" he asked. He thanked Attorney General John Jeremy for launching the probe and his legal team for standing by him. Warner also acknowledged an apology from UK Attorney Robert Strang, but said it hasn't gone far enough. Minister of Defense Wayne Sturge has called for independent Senator Anthony Vieira to be removed from the Senate, calling his presence untenable. Posting on Facebook, Sturge questioned why Vieira was reappointed in 2018 after previously serving from 2013 to 2015, and accused him of being openly biased and adding little value to the bench. He also compared Vieira's alignment to that of government senators Faris Al-Rawi and Foster Cummings. Sturge's comments follow Vieira's emotional tribute to former independent Senator Derup Timol, who passed away on Sunday. Vieira said Timol had confided in him about the toll public attacks were taking on his health, including high blood pressure and stress from online trolling. Timol was among 5 independent senators who supported the Prime Minister's pension amendment bill in June, after UNC officials had publicly questioned the independence of the bench. Despite the controversy, Timol said he was not affected by the criticisms. A firearm user's license holder managed to foil a robbery attempt in Woodbrook last week. Around 6 a.m. on July 29th, the 35-year-old man from Belmont was walking along Carlos Street to his parked car when he was attacked from behind by 2 men. The suspects demanded his $30,000 Cuban link gold chain and physically assaulted him, pulling his hair and hitting him several times. In fear for his life, the victim drew his licensed firearm, prompting the attackers to flee. They escaped in a white Nissan Note heading east along Wrightson Road. The victim, who was not seriously injured, told police he does not know the men but could identify them if seen again. In regional news, the United States has denied interfering in Guyana's September 1st general and regional elections amid controversy surrounding We Invest in Nationhood WIN party leader Azruddin Mohammed. U.S. Ambassador Nicole Theriot said Washington has no interest in influencing the polls, despite Mohammed being sanctioned by the U.S. Treasury Department in June for allegedly evading $50 million in taxes. Mohammed is one of 4 presidential candidates, alongside incumbent President Irfan Ali, APNU's Aubrey Norton, and AFC's Nigel Hughes. Theriot defended her remarks, warning that electing a sanctioned individual could affect U.S. relations and private sector investment, but insisted she was simply stating facts. Mohammed responded, saying Guyana is a sovereign nation and his candidacy reflects the people's will. Meanwhile, several local banks have closed accounts linked to WIN. Theriot clarified the U.S. was not involved in those decisions, noting the OFAC sanctions apply only to U.S. jurisdiction and business. In international news, China is battling a major outbreak of the chikungunya virus, with over 7,000 cases reported, mostly in Foshan near Hong Kong. The mosquito-borne illness, which causes fever and joint pain, has prompted aggressive government action. Authorities are spraying disinfectant across streets, homes, and work sites, and drones are being used to locate mosquito breeding grounds. Residents face fines of up to 10,000 yuan, around $1,400 for not clearing standing water, and some even risk electricity cutoffs. The U.S. has issued a travel advisory for China's Guangdong province, joining warnings for countries like Brazil and Bolivia, which are also affected. Chinese state media show images of slogans urging citizens to clear stagnant water and eliminate mosquito breeding. While transmission is not person to person, some patients in Foshan are being forced to stay in hospital for at least a week. Authorities say new cases are slowing, but efforts remain intense to stop the spread. And that's news at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with new Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Health and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The Mid-Morning Mix and Mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Men, women tired of the invasive, painful old methods of testing prostate and breasts?
The Institute of Health and Fitness Clinic and Wellness Center offers comprehensive and non-invasive diagnostic testing, which indicates the nature and extent of diseases and tests your nutritional levels. Our quick testing can identify early signs of problems by evaluating many of the bodily functions, such as male and female sexual function, gastrointestinal function, liver function, kidney function, thyroid function, heart and brain function, and also cancer testing. Results are comparable with other medical lab tests without the use of needles or embarrassing specimen cups, and is pain-free. We also offer all natural treatments. Visit us now at number 79 St. Vincent Street, Tunapuna, or call 492-7397 or 289-6363.
Mornings just got better. You're locked into Net Radio Breakfast Show, fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
I feel it to wine
and it's happening in real time. Well, welcome everybody inside the second hour of the breakfast show right here on New Era TT Radio, taking you above and beyond. And remember, we're streaming all day, every day. Yeah, so after we come off of the TV streams and the YouTube streams, guess what? You can get us on newerattradio.com. New Era TT Radio, so you can listen to us on Alexa and of course your Google devices, and of course to all the folks on the YouTube, Facebook streams. Your next engagement will be at 4 o'clock this afternoon inside of the Drive Time Exchange. Of course, joining the Drive Time Exchange today will be none other than Andy Johnson. So on Monday and Tuesday, you get Tony Fraser, and on Wednesday and Thursday inside the Drive Time Exchange, you get good conversation with Andy Johnson, right? So look out for that. And also make sure you go up to our website at newerattradio.com and of course hit that support button, all right? It's needed. Greatly appreciated also. So let's finish, pay our bills and come back.
Charmflair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop, located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davanti tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charmflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair. We do it all.
San Fernando, get ready. The Roadie one-man show is coming to the Southland. Sunday the 17th of August at Sapa. Tickets available at all K-Squared locations. At Police by the Park, Southern Food Basket, Coffee Street and San Fernando. Sapa box office from the 14th of August and Island tickets online. For more information and box office inquiries, call 682-0467 or 683-4843. This show is strictly 18 years and over. The Roadie one-man show is heading to the Southland.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box. From the producers of Married and Mischievous and Love is a Walk, now comes the brand new comedy, You Don't Leave Foul to Watch Corn. A hilarious bacchanal and the ultimate stress reliever about love, betrayal, and best friends. You Don't Leave Foul to Watch Corn premieres in Queen's Hall for one night only on Sunday, August 10th at 6:30 p.m. Tickets available at the Queen's Hall box office and all usual outlets. If you loved Married and Mischievous, if you loved Love is a Walk, this is not one to miss. All right, so we are back, and of course we're continuing with the poll. Wrapping up the poll in terms of the poll results for this morning, while we count your votes. And here is the morning poll on the screen. Do you think some employees from banks are giving out customers' information to criminals? That's our poll this morning. What say you? We're still taking your votes.
Sorry, my apologies. So I'm gonna finish off the vote count, but I have some good news for people. The Christopher Columbus statue was removed last night by the Port of Spain Corporation. Well done, Mayor Chinua Allen and the Port of Spain Council for removing that statue. Well done. We'll take it from there after, but at least it's gone, which is what I'd advise. Move it. We'll take it.
No ceremony to take it down, why?
None. 10 o'clock last night, they went with the backhoe and everything. With the
big ceremony.
People from the different agencies and so on, and it was removed. Thank God for that.
Like a
Chevron Shogun says yes. Our poll, of course, is: do you think some employees from banks are giving out customers' information to criminals? And I want to read a couple paragraphs from another story after, right, Richard? Chevron Shogun, yes. Kurt Hope, yes. Victor Thongs, yes. Brennan Smith, long time now, so I guess that's a yes. Classic Brother, yes. Ava Smith says this has been happening for years. Tellers would charge, so I guess that's a yes. Slick Money Grip, yes. Ann Noel, yes. Joyce Phillip, yes. Barry Archer is wishing someone happy birthday, Sandra Griffith. So if you're listening, Sandra Griffith, you got a birthday greeting from Barry Archer. Ron DeSantis Jr., yes. Carl M. Jack, yes. And that's it. That's it for that I have here. So Charles, do you have any?
All right. Yes, I have some on the WhatsApp. Valerie Dabadi says no. Then we have Judith in Mount St. George who is saying yes. Afria in Borneo says yes. Captain Ron in Ethiopia says yes. Junior says yes. Sandra is now typing. Jovis Clement is saying yes. Sexy Reds is saying yes. Anna is saying yes. And Pauline is saying yes. That's it.
All right. I just want to address Dean Allen just quickly. Dean, that program moved from that temporary thing a long time ago. And I keep making the comparisons to people, you know, when they talk about temporary and things. Road paving temporary, you tell road paving people they could only apply for so many things, or they could only work for so long and then they must move on to something else? No. Do you tell any other profession that they could only do something for so long and then move on? No, you don't. So why CPEP? CPEP was started like that, Dean, but it moved on from that a long time ago. Right?
Yeah,
so
I want to agree with you. I think it morphed into something more permanent.
Yes,
because there was value seen in what was happening.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think it moved on to something else. But it initially started as that, but it became something else.
Yeah.
One more yes, please. Sandra is saying yes.
Yeah. Sankofa has also said yes. Right, so that's our poll there this morning. Do you think
some employees from banks are giving out customers' information to criminals? We had 43 people voting on the poll this morning, and of the 43 people, 41 of you said yes, you think so, and 2 of you said no, not at all. So 41 people said yes, 2 people said no. So the yeas have it by a wide margin this morning in terms of their perspective on the poll this morning and what they think. So the yeas have it, and that's it for our poll this morning. The poll is now done.
Jeffrey, pick up your piece of paper there.
People need to make a meme out of that, you know. When you crumple that in front of the face, somebody could get a snapshot of that, please, and send it for me.
Yes. So the poll is now done. Let me remove it.
When you see Jeffrey just pass across in the back of him there?
Yes. If let Jeffrey don't pick up that paper right away now.
Let's get Jeffrey right walk by.
There's madness in the house in Arima.
Anyway, we have guests that are waiting and are watching the unprofessional comments that Joel are making. So let's bring in our guests.
Dean Allen, Port of Spain Corporation don't even get councillors in local government don't even get pension. Let me don't start me up now. Come and check me down my rumble. But we have guests on.
Oh, you remember now? Okay. So good morning to our guests, Nikoli, Mohammed, and Mark John. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. And of course, we're talking scouting this morning. This is what
Nikolai. Is it Nikoli or Nikolai? Nikolai? Is it Nikoli or Nikolai?
I assume it's Nikolai.
I don't know.
For nearly 30.
It's Nikolai.
It's Nikolai. Okay.
Yes. I think he's muted.
Disproportional.
I think he's frozen, eh? Oh, yes, I think he was frozen. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Nikolai Mohammed and Mark John from the Scouts Association of Trinidad and Tobago. Is that the correct name, Mark?
Yes, it is. The Scout Association of Trinidad and Tobago.
I remember when I was in primary school, I was in Cub Scouts because I had to be, because my, you know, when you're a child, you have to do certain things because that's what your parents say you're doing. So you have no choice. And I think my aunt, Auntie Joyce, was very much into scouting. And through Auntie Joyce, we had to join Cub Scouts. So I remember Cub Scouts being part of my life as a little child. And I think we also had some camps. They used to have some camps where you had where Cub Scouts went and stuff like that. So it was fun, and you had to get your different badges and stuff like that. I don't know if that still exists. I don't know if you still see Cub Scouts as much. Do they still? Let's start off there. Do Cub Scouts still exist? I don't even know.
Well, good morning, gentlemen, and thank you very much for thank you very much for having us on your program this morning. And yeah, we do exist in Trinidad and Tobago. In fact, we are 4,500 members strong. The organization doesn't just have Cub Scouts. We cater for an age range from the age of 7 to 23 with 4 sections. So we do have Cub Scouts, which is what you in, Richard. Then we have Scouts, which are the young people from the age range of 10 and a half to 15. Venture Scouts from the age range of 15 to 21. And Rover Scouts, which focus on young adults from the age range of 21 to 23. So we do have many young people in our society participating in the organization. And you're quite correct. Young people who participate in the movement earn badges. These badges help to get them to understand various topics that they may have interest in. So some of the badges that are pretty popular, for instance, are swimming badges, the first aid badges, camping badges, all of those kind of things. But then we also have modern badges that focus on things that are salient in the society. So we do work focusing on the sustainable development goals, where we ask young people to go out into their communities and talk about conservation, for instance, or talk about technological development, talk about life on land, forests, all of those kind of things. So there's a wide range, a wide gamut of things that young people can learn through the organization. And upon learning them, achieve a badge that they could wear on their uniforms.
So is it that scouting, you told me it's like 4,500 strong. Is that a declining number, or is that an increasing number, or is that a static number?
Well, it's an increasing number. A few years ago, we were half of that. We were around 2,000 members. Traditionally, our organization was on a decline, and I'm saying traditionally because we started off in the 1960s with 10,000 members strong. But I think it is part of I know it's part of the wider sociological decline of volunteerism within our society. So, when I was younger, way younger, a lot more people used to participate in a lot of those altruistic societal things, going out in the society and doing things for the society. And then somehow there was a decline within our organization, obviously, because we are a member of our society. The membership declined as well. These days, what we are seeing is a resurgence in the amount of adults that are willing to help young people to grow and to learn, as well as a resurgence in the amount of young people that are coming forward to participate in the Scout movement in Trinidad and Tobago and participating in the activities that we have as Scouts.
That begs the question, what is the criteria for joining these Scouts? Because I didn't join as a matter of fact, I think I didn't, but I can't remember that far back. But I remember us having Boy Scouts too in school. And I was always an admirer of a friend of mine who kept up with it. He was in Boy Scouts, he was in Scouts, he was in Cadets, you name it, until he went to the Defense Force, and then he became the Chief of Defense Staff, Rodney Smart. He started off from a Boy Scout, yeah?
Right.
You know,
yes.
I always praised him for sticking with that. You know, but what is the criteria for joining the Scouts?
Well, a willingness to abide by the rules of the organization and to follow the promise, and that's basically it.
What are the rules and the promise then?
Sorry?
What are some of the rules and the promise?
Well, the promise of the global organization, as well as in Trinidad and Tobago, is to do your duty to God, your country, and to help other people. That's basically it. So once you agree to those three tenets, to help other people, to do your duty to God and to your country, you can become a member. There's no restriction from that angle. You know, some of these scout laws, in terms of Cub Scouts, I'll give you the one for Cub Scouts. It says that a Cub Scout always does his or her best, because it's no longer Boy Scouts, it's Scouts, because we do have membership of males and females. So doing your best. So Cub Scout always does his best, thinks of others before themselves, and does a good turn every day. And that's a simplified version of the laws of the for young people within that age range. You know, within the older age range, it talks about Scouts making good use of their time, thinking of others as well, you know, having respect for property. A Scout is a brother to all other Scouts, you know, having respect for themselves and others, and all of those things that are along the line of developing the individual within the whole psychosocial realm. You know,
as you said, but as you said, it's now called Scouts and it includes women. I remember there used to be a distinct Girl Scouts branch and separate from the Boy Scouts branch. So, is it what rough percentage of that 4,500 is are female and what percentage are male, or is that predominantly male?
It's 40% are female. It's majority male still. You're referring to the Girl Guides Association, the Trinidad.
Girl Guides is what I was thinking. You're right,
and they still exist as well. In fact, the Scout movement is working closely with the Girl Guides as well as the Trinidad and Tobago Cadet Force. We recognize that. So let me get back. The goal of the Scout movement is to develop young people. That's the mission of the movement, to develop young people. And so within our organization, we have partnered and continue to partner with the Girl Guides as well as the Cadet Force, because they have members who are young people. And so just recently, for instance, the Cadet Force had their national camp, and we worked with them to assist them in their sea activities, because we do have a very strong Sea Scout and sea-based activity set. So we assisted them in learning kayaking. We assisted them in learning some of the things that are required for being on the water. And, you know, we collaborated that way. We also assist the Girl Guides in terms of their educating young people. And they assist us as well, because, you know, the Cadet Force may have some skills, or does have some skills that are taught exclusively to cadets that we would like to have as part of our daily program for young people within our organization. So the collaboration is there, and you know, we work together.
So let's bring in Nikoli, Mohammed.
Yeah, we should Nikoli now.
Nikoli, what prompted you to join the Boy Scouts, and how has your experience been thus far?
Well, good morning. What prompted me, honestly, was just the genuine interest in outdoor activities. Growing up and seeing what Boy Scouts was considered as on Disney Channel or Nickelodeon, it gave you this sense of belonging, that you're part of something bigger. And I just wanted to get out there and, well, at first learn how to tie knots and go to camps. And my experience has exceeded my expectations, because it's not just going out there learn how to tie knots or go to camps, but we do a lot more. We, as an individual who's been in the organization since my early ages, let's say around 9, it puts me at 14 years in the association right now, and 12 years in the association right now. And that gives me the opportunity to definitely say that Scouting has changed my life in a very positive way. It's created a whole new avenue for my perspective on where it is I want to be in life, how it is I see young people contributing to a wider organization such as this. It's been a wonderful experience thus far, and I hope that it only gets better.
Is it then your intention to join one of the military arms of the country, for instance, the Defense Force or the TTPS or whatever? Is that your intention?
It's funny that you asked that. I mean, growing up, that was my, I think, an idea for sure. Since then, I think honestly, nothing short of school really and truly, and getting to understand the wider workspace as an individual, it changed me. It changed me a little bit and changed my mindset. So I'm not necessarily aligned with wanting to get into the military or the armed forces, but the thought is always there. But for now, I'm just a youth, aspiring entrepreneur.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're at 21 years old, eh? So you still have a lot of time.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So
is it, you know what I wanted to ask? Is it that because I remember my Cub Scout experience, because I went to Arima Boys RC, and I know that Cub Scouts were a big part of it. Now, I would see Arima Boys RC students passing back and forth where I live, but I don't see people in Cub Scouts uniform much anymore. In fact, most of the time when I see Cub Scouts or Scouts is when there are parades, because sometimes they're part of parades. But is it still a part of the school system? Is it still integrated into the school system? It has to be less than when I was a child, because I don't see it as much. But is it still there?
Yeah, it is. It is and yes, it is less than what we would have experienced growing up. But it's also getting and gaining more traction, especially because we now have more opportunities for young people within the organization. Coming back to the uniform, a lot of people ask us that question. So I'll answer all the questions you've asked. One, we do still exist in the schools. But as a voluntary organization, we rely on adults to step up and step forward to say that they would like to have a unit or a troop or a cup pack in the schools that they teach in or that the young people attend. And so we are finding more adults coming forward now. In terms of the uniforms, we recognize that, participating in our organization is expensive from the uniform perspective. It's an addition and an added expense. And so what we've decided is that during the official times that a young person is to wear their uniform, they can. But in terms of showing who they are as a member of the organization, the most salient feature, the most prominent feature of a member of the organization is the neckerchief, which we both have on at this point in time. This is something that is global. Any individual that knows the Scout movement instantly recognizes that the neckerchief around our necks tell us who we are.
So it's like a mini lodge then? Because the lodge people in the ring.
And we do have 50 million members globally in 172 countries at present, including Trinidad and Tobago. So it's a global organization. It's not just that we have Scouts in Trinidad and Tobago. It is that we are a member of the World Organization of the Scout Movement. And at present, literally, our numbers are 50 million globally in 172 countries.
You talk about getting adults saying that you want a cup pack in your school and stuff like that. Is that from the principal point of view? Is that what you're talking about? And do all schools have Cub Scouts, or is it that only select schools have those cup packs you're talking about?
Well, the possibility exists for all schools to have. Not all schools do have it. It requires volunteers. It requires adults to say, I am willing. I think just like your aunt and someone you referenced when you were in primary school, it requires that the parents come forward and say to the principal, here's what we would like to start a cup pack, or we would like to start a scout troop. And scouts are in secondary schools. So we do have scouts. I think the misnomer that exists in the public domain is ideally that, Cub Scouts are the only section in the organization. But when they refer to Major Smart having participated in Cub Scouts and then transferring to cadets, it's simply because we don't have a lot of scout troops in the secondary schools. And so young people who would have joined Cub Scouts in primary schools, when they get into secondary school, they would have looked for something similar. And the cadet force does exist in larger numbers at the secondary school level, but we do have scout troops. I see a comment where someone is asking about the Sea Scouting, and yes, Sea Scouts is part of the secondary school aspect of things. So principals can request it, parents can request it. Scouts does not also have to exist in schools only. So for instance, if there's a church that has a youth group, the program can be taught at the youth group level in the church. It can be taught in the community. If there's an insurance agency, for instance, and parents would like their young people to learn scouting, those parents can learn leadership of the scout movement and then transfer that leadership and the program to their children and the children in the community where the business exists.
Yeah.
Do you find it more difficult? Sorry, Wendell. Do you find it more difficult, and maybe Nikoli could weigh in here, for Gen Zers to see scouting as an option because they're so busy, they're easily distracted, and you have so much more things to distract you now, from the simple thing of your phone to PS5s to whatever else that takes up your time. That the world seems to be almost suffering from ADHD. Everybody has limited patience for anything. So I think that's why there's a drop in volunteerism, which you indicated prior, Mark. Is it that you're fighting the information age in a kind of way that kind of is making it more difficult for people to see scouting as an option? Or am I reading it wrong? Nikoli, you can weigh in.
Yeah, sure. No, that's a great point. I mean, like I said, with even as young as I am, with the 12 years that I have in the association, I could definitely tell you that the Gen Z generation, it's you could see it's easily recognizable that there is a large difference from what it used to be. But as scouts, we know to adapt to situations. So as you mentioned, that persons, always want to be using a device or something like that. We try to find ways to incorporate that into what we do. So scouting shouldn't be viewed as a paramilitary organization. It's more of, like we always allude to, a movement. So we do a lot of things and we engage in a lot of exercises that incorporates intellectually stimulating activities, incorporates a good bit of the outdoor side of things, but it's more than just this rugged kind of deal that says, hey, if it is a kid joins this, they're going to be the most disciplined person. That's not necessarily what we're looking at. We're looking at the entire development of a young person and then person at large in the coming years. So it is a bit difficult, but we've adapted to what we have, and we've adapted to the situation that we're in, and we just try our best to utilize the modern day technology or our advanced modern equipment to more or less take those skills and intertwine with what we have or had in the past and use it to our advantage.
Yeah.
Mr. Mark Anthony John, is Mark Anthony John, right? You mentioned earlier on about that it doesn't always form in a school, that insurance companies can do it, or banks can do it, or churches can do it, because I know churches have a very active group of young people involved in these activities. But how are you all sustained? How is the Scout Association sustained? Does it get a subvention from the government? And are people paid?
Yeah, the government does give us a subvention, but a lot of the work that we do is through projects in our communities. We do have a very small staff, and that staff helps power the organization. It's the engine room. But in terms of the actions and activities of young people in the communities, we write projects, and we do those projects in our communities. And so we try as best as possible to ensure that these projects redound to the benefit for the young people, but also that the young people don't have to pay to participate. So for instance, we've partnered with the Global Good Deeds Day organization, and Good Deeds Day is set aside in April. But as part of our mission and vision to ensure that we participate in the society positively, our scouts carry out good deeds activities throughout. And they get a badge for Good Deeds Day for free. We've also partnered with corporate entities. So for instance, Restaurant Holdings Limited, that's Burger King, Popeyes, and Little Caesars. They contribute to our organization by giving meals to our young people when they do activities or within the Scout movement, as well as they've provided financial support for things. So we recently had a camp in Tobago for all of our Cub Scouts, and they provided financial support. We also have corporate entities and businesses such as NGC, Parenco. Parenco provided a big donation of instruments because we have 13 bands, 13 musical bands across Trinidad. And in those 13 bands, young people learn music. And so Parenco in Mayaro recently provided the financial support so that the band in Mayaro, which is a big band, they got new instruments and were able to introduce different instruments to the band so that those young people can learn music. And the majority of them, interestingly enough, end up in the military, playing music for the military as well as participating in their regular military duties.
Yeah,
So
it's like an incubator for the military.
well, yes, but it's also about the critical employability skills. So I noticed that someone mentioned about the discipline, and Nikoli mentioned the fact that, we provide a wide range and a gamut of activities. So it's not just about the discipline, but it is through the discipline and through the activities that the young people learn to be themselves and learn to be the best version of themselves so that they could become active contributors to the society. And that's succinctly what we do. We want to make sure that every person who participates in scouting contributes in some way to the society. So we have a communicators badge, for instance, and our young people learn communication, just like what we're doing here on the radio. And in the future, it is hoped that because of that badge and because of their participating in this, that they may someday end up on the radio as an announcer or on the television as an announcer. We also have a journalist badge, so they learn how to write articles, how to interview people. And so, that skill might carry them through in terms of getting employment later on, just like with the music badge, just like with the swimming badge, and etc. and etc. and etc. So those critical employability skills that we teach through the badges that we have allow young people, just like Nikoli and myself, to learn skills that they can then use later on in life to become contributors to the society, but also to get them jobs and work.
Well, clearly this is not your first interview, Mr. John.
Well, as National Scout Commissioner, it's my duty to make sure that I know what the organization is like and what it does. And Nikoli is being modest as a young person in the organization. Nikoli is also the National Youth Commissioner. And one of the things that he didn't share with you all is that as National Youth Commissioner, he's inspired a lot of young adults within his age category to come and volunteer within the organization. In fact, last year, we had a total of 21 18 to 25-year-old young people come into leadership training in our organization. And they have committed to working in their communities to ensure that they bring scouting and they bring scouts the joy of the movement, the participating in the camping, the tying knots, the lighting fires, the singing songs, which are all what we traditionally know scouting is. But all of the extras, all of the things that we just spoke about.
But that begs my next question. If for someone listening to this program this morning and listening to you gentlemen, how do they become a member of the Scouts Association? Is it that they must go through an established group, or can they contact a particular number or particular place that they can become a member? And what will it cost them to become a member?
Well, I'll take this, Nikoli. So they can go through an established group. There are several across the country. What can happen is that they could reach out to our social media. So we're also branded as Scouts TT. And any of the social media, you just type in Scouts TT or Scout Association of Trinidad and Tobago, and you could reach out and ask you a question about joining. An adult joins differently from a young person. You must undergo a period of formation and training. That period of formation and training can be subsidized. So, for instance, if the group that you are wanting to open is in a school, like let's use our remote boys RC, or remote government, the principals of those schools can say, okay, I will use some funds from the school to allow you to learn the leadership skills and the training of the Scout Association of Trinidad and Tobago and pay for it. Or it can be done out of pocket. All of us are volunteers in the organization, and we literally pay to learn scouting, and then we raise funds to do the activities. But it is self-funded. What are the? I'm seeing a question as well in terms of volunteers given particular incentive to encourage them to stay. We do this out of love.
And even the second part of that question too. How do you screen people? Because the reality is that we have predators amongst us.
Correct.
Sadly, how do we screen people as volunteers for this organization?
So it's a rigorous process for the adults. It's not as easy in terms of the young people. We have adopted in Trinidad and Tobago our safe from harm policy, and within our safe from harm policy, we've set up safeguarding teams across the 6 districts that we operate in. We also have at the national level now a headquarters commissioner of safeguarding. These individuals work closely with young people in the realm of school social service support, for instance, in psychology and psychological development. We also screen them. So we screen every single adult. We also ask for background checks, for instance. We also ask for certificates of characters from the police. In terms of safety, our adults must supply us with an annual first aid certificate to ensure that they are first aid qualified as well. So we go the whole range, we go the whole gamut of ensuring that as best as possible, we do all of the safety checks on adults before they are allowed to participate in any activity with young people. We also have a 2-deep system within our organization in terms of participating in any activity. And that means that one adult is not allowed to be in any space alone with young people. They must be accompanied by another adult at all times. And this is taught and drilled in at all levels across the training of the adults and all levels in terms of the safeguarding aspect of things, whether it is the commissioners, whether it is the group scout leaders, whether it is the safeguarding team, whether it is the policy of the organization.
Yeah.
So that's what we do in terms of, the screening of the volunteers and etc.
Is your headquarters still at the Scouting Association in St. Anne's?
It is. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Mr. John, I want to ask you, because I know you all have also, I don't need time to run out on us, just so, a program that you all are working on, the Ticket to Life program. You want to tell us about that one and what it's all about?
Sure, no problem. Ticket to Life is a program that we are working on now to bring scouting to youth in especially difficult circumstances. And we are working through the Diego Martin to Laventil area, where we are bringing the scout movement and its program to young people in those communities, especially because we recognize that young people may be faced with a lot of challenges these days. And it's not just financial challenges. It can be emotional challenges. It can be psychosocial challenges associated with where they are, who they talk to, and the influences of modern day society that we have in Trinidad and Tobago. And so we have a specially tailor-made program that allows young people in those challenging circumstances to participate in the movement. We are partnering, for instance, with the migrant ministry of the Catholic Church to get young people who are migrants in our society to understand scouting and understand the values of the scout movement. We're working with schools in the area as well. We're also working with faith-based organizations in the area. And, we're also working with the police youth clubs in some part as well to help all of those young people in the community to participate in the scout movement. As Nikoli said, it is a movement, and it's not just about tying knots. It's not just about camping and all of those things that we are famous for, but it's all about the other things as well.
I remember the old tying knots is
I can't tie a knot to save my life.
Fisherman's knot, reef knot, some of those knots. I remember all of them. I remember tying knots was a big part of it.
I can't tie a balloon. One knot.
Well, it's not too late. We could perhaps come across to where you all are and do a knot tying session with you.
He finds it very difficult even to tie the marriage knot. So,
oh dear.
I failed at that too.
Well, we like to see that there's a badge for everything, and perhaps we can find a crew of young adults to come across and assist with all of the issues in terms of knots that you all may be having. But Nikoli also has a special project that he wants to talk about.
Nikoli, what's your special project?
All right, so the idea is hopefully somewhere in September we'd like to launch a project what we're calling Scout Benches or Boy Scout Benches. But as Mr. John said earlier, we also have young women in our organization, so we're gonna probably go with Scout Benches just to be a little more inclusive. But Scout Benches is basically an idea that came about through teaming up with another partner, which is Flying Tree. They're a company that uses plastic waste and they turn that plastic waste into benches. It's a very interesting process, but basically they take discarded plastic bottles, discarded plastic containers, and melt them down and place them into bricks, and then they could also become benches as well. So what we're doing is we want to encourage young people and the wider society to start recycling, but also taking those recycled materials and putting them back into the environment. So the hope is to see scout benches all around Trinidad, in your neighborhood parks, as the bus stops, and all throughout Trinidad and Tobago. So the idea is we're launching it in Port of Spain. So that also means that we're working very closely with the mayor of Port of Spain, as well as we also do work very closely with the mayor of San Fernando. Right now, actually, we're working with him at San Fernando with their summer camp called City Stars. At City Stars, we have some volunteers there. I've tried my best to be there a few times, and what they're doing down there is basically a sports camp. So it runs all throughout August in Skinner Park, San Fernando. And what I've seen is they're encouraging young people to take part in different sports. I saw somebody in the comments earlier talking about scouting shows people how to choose careers as well. And this camp, from my experience, could be a really great way to find out if it is any of our young people are especially talented in any specific field. So I encourage you all, if it is you from the San Fernando area or would like to venture out and just head down someday, it's in Skinner Park every day from 9 p.m. to 2 p.m. City Stars.
9, no, I think you might have gotten
9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
All right, 9
Correct.
a.m. to 2 p.m. Okay, good. All right, every day you said that?
Yes, every day. Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday. Okay, all right, that's good news for the South people. Ms. Sampson, encourage all the young people in your area to go down and at Skinner Park and learn some skills. You know.
So the Environment Project, if I may jump in, is one where we also want to bring the social elements of things back into our society. And we're encouraging young people through the Scout movement to bring their bottles, bring their plastics in the schools, in the communities to us. We're going to carry it to Flying Tree Frog. And then we're working with the municipality of Port of Spain to place those benches across the municipality. Simply because we want to have people come and sit on a bench and have a conversation, come and talk to somebody, come and fellowship with someone, come and, spread love, spread peace, spread joy, and ensure that we also safeguard our environment as well. Because if we can teach young people from early that these plastics can be reused, then they no longer drop it into the drains or on the streets. They can say, you know what, this is actually valuable. Our trash is valuable. And if we also bring back the social element of our society, then the Scout movement is engineering a society again that talks about peace, talks about love, talks about camaraderie. Because globally, the Scout movement is known as messengers of peace. We are messengers of peace. We're not just messengers of camping. We are messengers of getting everyone in our society to live harmoniously together and live together in peace.
Mr. John, it didn't escape me that you used the word fellowship just now. What is the religious component in the Scouts Association? Because I think you all have a pledge, and you may also have a specific prayer too. So help us in that aspect.
Sure. So the only religiosity that we have is duty to God. I promise that I will do my best to do my duty to God and to my country, and to help other people, and to keep the Scout law. That is the only religiosity that we have. You can be a member of any faith that you ascribe to, and
including atheists, right?
Any faith that you ascribe to, and be a member of the organization. In terms of atheism, as a movement, we have recognized that there are individuals in our society that do not ascribe to any faith or religion, but still want to serve the society and still want to serve the country, or still want to be a member of our movement. And at a global level and at a local level, we are also saying to these people, please, you can be a member of the movement as well.
And keep the Scout laws.
And keep the Scout laws. That is correct.
All right.
Well, that's a positive note on which to end the interview, because bang on 8, a little after 8. So thank you, Nikoli, Mohammed, and Mark, Ainsley, John, for joining us on the Breakfast Show this morning. We appreciate the conversation. I mean, I don't think we've ever had a conversation so extensively about scouting.
No, we never had one.
You know, a lot of times when you think scouting, you think Scouting Association, and we had that sometimes as a car park for when shows up overfilled at Queen's Road, which
last time I parked there was to go an event at the Prime Minister's residence. That's the last time I parked there.
That's all very bad.
And that's part of our contribution to the society as well, yes. So you are
beautiful.
Thank you guys. It was a good conversation. And anytime you feel like you have anything to talk about with scouting, you can feel free to contact us. We'll give you the forum.
Thank you. We appreciate it. And thank
and
you
a lot
all
of
for
people
having
have
us
been,
this morning.
I'm sure you all have been seeing the chat. A lot of people are high in praise of you all and had a lot of questions. So it was most appreciated. Thank you very much.
No worries. Scouts TT everything. You could go on our social media and just type in Scouts TT and see what we're doing. We have a lot of engaging activities happening at the moment.
All right. Beautiful. Thank you very much.
All right, great. So that was Nikoli,
thank you very much.
Mohammed, and Mark Ainsley, John of the Scouts Association of Trinidad and Tobago.
All right.
Of course, we are smack into news. So let's get straight into our news.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio. I'm Derek. Energy Minister Dr. Rudol Munalal says the government will give a full account of its first 100 days in office at the upcoming Monday night report on August 11th. Speaking at a consultation on Stand Your Ground legislation in DB, Munalal said the government has been hard at work since the April 28 election. Today is our 94th day in office, he told constituents, noting that a draft of the SYG legislation and policy has already been produced. He said the review will take place at the Kuva office of Public Utilities Minister Barry Patarath, with Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Visesar and other ministers present. Munalal said the Prime Minister has asked all ministers to report their achievements, stressing that unlike the last administration, they are focused on governance, not celebration. Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander added that new anti-crime initiatives will roll out in the coming weeks, while attorney Gerald Ramdeen urged public support for the reforms. Former FIFA Vice President Jack Warner says his life has been turned upside down over the past decade as he welcomed news that the Office of the Attorney General will investigate the handling of his long-standing U.S. extradition matter. In a telephone interview, Warner expressed both relief and deep hurt, blaming former Attorneys General Faris Al-Rawi and Reginald Armour for what he described as political persecution. He said their actions were aimed at facilitating his extradition, not on justice, but on the political will and fancies of others. Warner, who is still fighting extradition to the U.S. on corruption-related charges, said his ordeal underscores a bigger issue: justice for the average citizen. If this can happen to me, what will happen to the poor man? He asked. He thanked Attorney General John Jeremy for launching the probe and his legal team for standing by him. Warner also acknowledged an apology from UK attorney Robert Strang, but said it hasn't gone far enough. Minister of Defense Wayne Sturge has called for independent Senator Anthony Vieira to be removed from the Senate, calling his presence untenable. Posting on Facebook, Sturge questioned why Vieira was reappointed in 2018 after previously serving from 2013 to 2015, and accused him of being openly biased and adding little value to the bench. He also compared Vieira's alignment to that of government senators Faris Al-Rawi and Foster Cummings. Sturge's comments follow Vieira's emotional tribute to former independent Senator Derup Timol, who passed away on Sunday. Vieira said Timol had confided in him about the toll public attacks were taking on his health, including high blood pressure and stress from online trolling. Timol was among 5 independent senators who supported the Prime Minister's pension amendment bill in June, after UNC officials had publicly questioned the independence of the bench. Despite the controversy, Timol said he was not affected by the criticisms. a firearm user's license holder, managed to foil a robbery attempt in Woodbrook last week. Around 6 a.m. on July 29th, the 35-year-old man from Belmont was walking along Carlos Street to his parked car when he was attacked from behind by two men. The suspects demanded his $30,000 Cuban link gold chain and physically assaulted him, pulling his hair and hitting him several times. In fear for his life, the victim drew his licensed firearm, prompting the attackers to flee. They escaped in a white Nissan Note heading east along Wrightson Road. The victim, who was not seriously injured, told police he does not know the men but could identify them if seen again. In regional news, the United States has denied interfering in Guyana's September 1st general and regional elections amid controversy surrounding We Invest in Nationhood WIN party leader Azruddin Mohammed. U.S. Ambassador Nikoli said Washington has no interest in influencing the polls, despite Mohammed being sanctioned by the U.S. Treasury Department in June for allegedly evading $50 million in taxes. Mohammed is one of 4 presidential candidates, alongside incumbent President Irfan Ali, APNU's Aubrey Norton, and AFC's Nigel Hughes. Theriot defended her remarks, warning that electing a sanctioned individual could affect U.S. relations and private sector investment, but insisted she was simply stating facts. Mohammed responded, saying Guyana is a sovereign nation and his candidacy reflects the people's will. Meanwhile, several local banks have closed accounts linked to WIN. Theriot clarified the U.S. was not involved in those decisions, noting the OFAC sanctions apply only to U.S. jurisdiction and business. In international news, China is battling a major outbreak of the chikungunya virus, with over 7,000 cases reported, mostly in Foshan near Hong Kong. The mosquito-borne illness, which causes fever and joint pain, has prompted aggressive government action. Authorities are spraying disinfectant across streets, homes, and work sites, and drones are being used to locate mosquito breeding grounds. Residents face fines of up to 10,000 yuan, around $1,400 for not clearing standing water, and some even risk electricity cutoffs. The U.S. has issued a travel advisory for China's Guangdong province, joining warnings for countries like Brazil and Bolivia, which are also affected. Chinese state media show images of slogans urging citizens to clear stagnant water and eliminate mosquito breeding. While transmission is not person-to-person, some patients in Foshan are being forced to stay in hospital for at least a week. Authorities say new cases are slowing, but efforts remain intense to stop the spread. And that's news at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with new Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Charmflair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop, located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davanti tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charmflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair. We do it all.
Oh yeah. Although leave out to watch con. No, that's a lesson we should all know. Leave out to watch con. No, that's a lesson we should all know. Which Richard planning wedding bells to ring, but Andrew got a secret thing. Best man supposed to stand by your side, not steal away your future bride. So Marie Kala, all them know, trust does break and hearts does go. At Queen's Hall Sunday night, August 10, 6:30, right? Benita, Leslie Ann will show how betrayal steal the show. Deborah Mason directing true. This Trinity for me and you. You don't leave out to watch corn. No, no, that's a lesson we should all know. Leave out to watch corn. No, no, that's a lesson we should all know. Oh yeah, that's a lesson we should all know.
From the producers of Married and Mischievous and Lovers and Walk, now comes the brand new comedy. You don't leave foul to watch corn. A hilarious bacchanal and the ultimate stress reliever about love, betrayal, and best friends. You don't leave foul to watch corn. Premieres in Queen's Hall for one night only on Sunday, August 10th at 6:30 p.m. Tickets available at the Queen's Hall box office and all usual outlets. If you loved Married and Mischievous, if you loved Lovers and Walk, this is not one to miss.
We are back and we are ready to, we are back, we are ready to close off. Thank you so much for all the kind sentiments that have been expressed about our interview. Of course, we try to do it different here. We don't follow the traditional thing with politics, bacchanal every day. We try to highlight everybody because we are so interested in what's happening across the globe. So we do things different, and we appreciate the support of the people who are on our chat and who listen to us and continue to listen to us. Thank you very much.
All right, so it's Thursday, so the weekend begins tonight. People at the second after midnight. So put a smile on your face if it wasn't there before. Hopefully this show brought one to you. And of course, New Era TT Radio continues throughout the day. NewEraTTRadio.com. New Era TT Radio on TuneIn on all of your smart devices. Don't go anywhere. You have great content throughout the day. Have a fantastic day, and remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health.
All right. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Mrs. R, Beauty Culture, Ava Smith, Terry and George, DL, Ron DeSantis, Victor Tongs, Jason Samuel, Andre, everybody. All of those who were commenting, and including Dean Allen, who were commenting during the course of that interview. Thank you very much for your very kind sentiments. All right,
good morning to Foxy.
Foxy.
All right, so this is where we wrap up the breakfast show. This has been
Richard. You ain't find say that Foxy with a certain foxiness.
Nobody's only one who can say that, you know. When you hear a name like Foxy, you can't just say Foxy. You know, you gotta be. It have a tone to go that.
I didn't know that. We didn't know. Now we know.
Now you know. Enjoy your day, people.
Folks, have one life. Remember, live it.
This has been the breakfast show. Have a great day, people.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on.